Hello and welcome back to Eastern Europe 1259, and as I ride through my forces here, we are now going to be attacking one of these extra vassals that these fellows have. Now, I did just see that one of our armies managed to capture yet another castle. I did not participate in this, and I didn't even realize they were even doing it, because I couldn't see the castle until I actually went closer to it, and then it was, well, then it was too late. So, yeah, obviously our allies really know what they're doing. They're actually doing a very, very good job of basically just pushing their advantage as much as possible. We do still have the town to take, and that's going to be a big problem. That is probably going to be... I'm not sure if we're even going to be able to do it, but we're going to give it a go. Alright, we're going to give it a go, and we're going to see how we do. Now, if I can... I'm actually not entirely sure how I'm going to handle these cavalry right here. I mean, there's only 7 of them, so we shouldn't have too many issues. I mean, there's 8 on the other side over there, but that's probably not going to be super, super bad for us. Should I get out my bow? Yeah, why not? Let's try it out. I mean, we're shooting into the sun, which is kind of annoying, but I did actually hit someone, amazingly. Wow, look at that. Very surprising. Okay, I mean, what would be amazing right now is if we could actually get to 275 in riding skill. That would be just incredible. That would be one of the greatest things that we could do, because the amount of damage that we would gain from having additional charge damage, I mean, really, the 275 perk in riding skill is just on a whole other level, especially when combined with this mod and RBM, obviously. And it's, well, I'm actually not entirely sure what's even happening here, because our cavalry are just completely destroying them. As you can see, we just got 56 kills in literally no time at all. I guess that kind of makes a huge amount of sense, considering the fact that these enemies don't appear to be that high level. So I don't suppose we need to be super, super careful with them. So I'm going to just go for it. We're just going to charge, and we're going to see what we can do. Now, obviously, here's the thing. I would like, if at all possible, to, of course, get to 275 in riding. I don't know if I even have 7 in endurance, which is required, of course, to get to 275. I kind of wish that the base game would do something about that, as in, like, kind of wish that they would tweak the way that the, should we say, the ratios work, because the most annoying thing for me, personally, is having to have 7 in a particular stat, or should we say attribute, to be able to get to 275 when, and if you take a look at obviously the fact that we have this really, really nice quality of life improvement mod that is integrated with Eastern Europe 1259, the thing that it actually allows us to see the maximum capacity, the maximum cap for that particular skill, for whatever skill we're looking at. I'm going to show you in just a second what I'm talking about, because I'm possibly not explaining it as accurately as I could, but yeah. Anyway, there you go. There's the victory for us right there. And there we have it. A nice little 10 renown. And the question is, do I want to execute this guy? I mean, he already hates us. Actually, wait a minute. He is technically from the old Lithuanian culture, and I've been executing these guys. Okay, that's pretty bad. I should not have done that. Okay, well, I guess I'll just let him go. You know what? I'll just start letting them go. I don't know. I don't think that's really going to do much, to be honest. If I'm, you know, very, very clear with myself there, I don't think we're going to be getting any kind of forgiveness. But I don't think that really matters too much, because we're maybe at the tail end of this series. I'm not sure. I'm not sure just yet where we're going to go, because the thing is, if we eliminate this faction, I'm kind of thinking that maybe that's a good point to end, and maybe do something else. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, because obviously, as you can see, we've got this and this, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, and that feels to me like a pretty amazing territory to capture. So I'm thinking, yeah, maybe that is a good point to end the series. But I just want to show you the diplomacy screen here, because as you can see, the Kingdom of Lithuania is doing absolutely amazingly, thanks to someone. Maybe it is thanks to us. Is it thanks to us, or is it thanks to someone else? I don't know. maybe it's the leadership that's doing a pretty good job. But yeah, as you can see here, the Teutonic Order, as you can see, has 4 towns and 19 castles, but we have 32 castles. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I feel like we are just going to absolutely just destroy them. And we also have the Novgorod Republic here, of course. And the thing is, if we actually capture... Yeah, most of the other factions are basically done. So, yeah, if we can capture this particular town, we will be in an insanely strong position. But, yes, anyway, as I was talking about before, this is what I was saying. Yeah, we do have 7 in endurance, so that's obviously nice. But maybe I can show you something... Yes, I can show you on the vigor skill trees over here. So, for now, as you can see, we have 288, right? So... the thing is, if you have 6 in any attribute and 5 focus points in a particular skill, you will only be able to get to 274, which in my opinion is probably one of the greatest frustrations that you can imagine in an RPG. Because imagine that, right? Imagine in an RPG, you're speccing your character as much as you possibly can, and with focus points, for example, and you get a good amount in a particular attribute, and then all of a sudden you think to yourself, okay, why am I not, at the point where I can get my maximum level perk? Oh, I'm 1 point away from getting that. And you just think, well, why is it like that? Why is it that it literally makes it so that you can only get to 274? Look at this. You see that? I mean, obviously, you can technically... slowest learning after 274. So technically, I mean, I don't think you can actually get higher than that. Because that's just the... well, that's just the limit, right? But yeah, that's exactly my point. Why is it 1 point away when it could just be that 6 vigor gives you all that you need to get to 275? Because 274 is just so frustrating, isn't it? I feel like that is just... it's just like a huge, like, well, here you go, you've got 6 points in this, and that's not enough. You need to spec 1 whole attribute point, which, to be fair, is actually kind of rare in the first place. It's going to take, quite a few level ups to be able to get a decent amount of attribute points, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, yeah, I've spec'd a whole bunch in what I need, which is, vigor or endurance in this case, and then I'm 1 point away. It just seems a little bit, like I'm being trolled. It's just quite funny. Anyway, let's just get as many people as I can in my army right now. Apart from Alminus, of course, because he is indeed the leader, and I will be unable to get him. But what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to take Polock here, and we're going to try to... I think someone actually said that that's not how it's pronounced, but yes, well, I'm sorry. That's how I'm going to say it for now. Anyway, the point is, we're going to wait for a handful of people to get here, and then we're going to be going in, because there's 1,300 here. This is going to be a bit... oh dear. Are we going to have some issues? We might have some issues, actually, because the thing is, I don't want to go in there and then get a sally out, because a sally out's going to be absolutely abysmal. Are they actually all going in there? They are literally all going in there, aren't they? They're making things very uncomfortable for us. This is not very good. Okay, well, I'm going to have to go in there now, and let's see if they actually do go for a sally out. I don't think they will, but they might if they get a good amount of support from external forces, which would be really, really bad. I'm kind of hoping that they don't. I'm going to just leave my trebuchet up and running right there. I'm not sure if that's a particularly good idea. Usually that's not a good idea, but I'm going to do it just because I want to kind of get a bit of a... yeah, no, okay, fine. I am actually going to put them in the reserves then. I was kind of hoping that our trebuchets would be strong enough to kind of survive until they have done some damage to some of the catapults and things like that. Because we do have an engineer now that is 132 strong, so that's pretty nice, It's pretty good. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, we are going to be building that last trebuchet in just a second. They have 0 food as well, which is actually extremely, extremely good. Let's put these 3 trebuchets out there and get a nice start on defeating as many of these people in the garrison as possible. This is going to be extremely tense here, because if a very large army comes along and they decide to sally out, it's going to be bad. And also, I'm spending huge amounts of influence. Look at my influence right now. My influence is insanely low, and it is going lower and lower and lower every single time our cohesion takes a hit. And we may not even be able to fully do this before the garrison is fully starved out. But I think I have enough to be able to make it work. I really just want to be able to starve out as much of the garrison as possible, because that is going to be our greatest advantage. Alright, so I think this is probably the best we're going to get, because I can now remove the trebuchets. We do have one additional catapult being built at the moment, but I don't think we need to be too concerned with that, because we're going to go in just a second. And, as you can see, every single person apart from 17 have been starved out. Okay, so shall we go? Shall we go? Are we ready? I'm kind of a little bit nervous about this, to be honest, because this is a pretty big siege. And yeah, sure, okay, fine, you know, we have a pretty big advantage. But if we fail this, it could very well be that we'll have a defeat very, very soon. And that would not be too good. So yeah, we're just going to do what we can here. These guys have absolutely, you know, just amazing stats and everything. So we're just going to basically be putting them on here. Going to put myself on here as well. There we go. All right, so let's do this. Yeah, we do have the walls down. Oh, okay. This is kind of interesting. I'm not sure how... yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to go, but this is going to be kind of problematic in general. I don't know why I can't move my shield. Why can't I move my shield upward? I kind of want to do the same thing that they're doing right now, but that doesn't seem to work. I don't know. Okay, well, whatever the case, let's move in here and see what we can... Whoa, they're getting absolutely murdered by these spear users. Well, obviously, I'm going to be one of those spear users relatively soon. Let's try to go for the nice little headshot. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't have enough strength for that, that's for sure. Okay, well, that's kind of it's kind of unfortunate. I was kind of hoping that maybe I'd be able to throw the stone a little bit further than that, but oh well, never mind. Didn't get super lucky on that, but yeah, that's okay, because we're actually doing a significant amount here. Unfortunately, I didn't kill that many, which I have to admit, I'm a little bit disappointed by. Was very much hoping we'd be able to kill many more, but I definitely wasn't counting on the fact that there were going to be so many heavily armored enemies in here, because I thought, oh yeah, they're going to be part of the garrison, you know, they're going to be part of the garrison, it's going to be, you know, they're all going to be starved out, so it would be a lot easier. But unfortunately for us, that is not the case. So, let's see what happens. I'm going to speed it up, and we're going to see what goes on here. And there it is. Now, unfortunately, we did have one of our vassals die, if you can believe that. I mean, really, come on now. That is absolutely ridiculous, but yeah, that's what happens, you know? That's what happens. And indeed, there we go. We're going to also get another handful of prisoners to join us, and I'm probably going to try to get... yeah, no, I'm going to stick with the rule. I'm going to stick with the rule that we're going to be going for tier 4s only. I feel like it just makes so much more sense for us to do that. But yeah, I mean, there are many reasons why you'd probably want to do something else. But yeah, anyway, we're going to be going in for this town. We have done it. We have captured it. And we're now going to go in there and we're going to just see what happens because, oh, wow, I have to spend 88 to show mercy here. I kind of don't want to do... You know what? I'm going to pillage it. I'm not a big fan of doing that, but I'm going to pillage it nevertheless. As you can see, we did pretty significant damage to the infrastructure and all that stuff. Also, the loyalty, as you can see right there. High risk of rebellion. This is also the reason why I never really like doing the whole pillaging or devastating thing. Because it generally just is not worth it. It just basically makes it so that you're going to have huge problems maintaining anything, you know? So this particular town is now very much on the brink of being, you know, rebelled, and we might have some issues. Anyway, our settlement is under attack. Wait a minute. Are they just going to raid it? Are they just going to raid it, or are they actually going to capture something? Because if they just raid it, then I don't really have too much of a problem with that. If they capture it, then that might be a bit problematic. I did want to go for the castle as well, but unfortunately, because I had such a difficult time basically maintaining the army, because the cohesion was so extremely costly, I didn't really have any other opportunity to continue there. So we're just going to have to make do with what we can here. Maybe we'll get... I don't know, maybe we're going to be okay, but, oh yeah, by the way, I did actually give away the fief over there. We also had to give away another fief over here somewhere, I believe it was. And, yeah, I literally just did not want to have to deal with another castle, but that's okay, because we're now pretty good, because as you can see, this is what I currently have available. We have 2 castles, 2 towns, pretty nice. This is what's currently going on in this one. Doing pretty fine with that. This one is not doing very well, as you can see. This one is having some huge issues with food supplies, and as a result, the prosperity is going down rather dramatically. And I was kind of hoping, yeah, the marketplace is going to take 12 days for it to be built. Hopefully that's going to be done sooner rather than later. And then we also have this, of course, Guy Tennis is the governor there. And then we have this, where we actually are doing really nicely in regards to pretty much keeping this up. As you see, massive amounts of upgrades across the board. So what I'm going to do now is I might wait for a little bit of time, and we're going to see what actually happens, because at this point, the enemy only has 1 fief remaining, as far as I'm aware, at least. I don't actually know if they have any more, and I just can't see them, because that has actually been a bit of a thing, a bit of a problem for us, but I think we should be okay. So yeah, oh, wait a minute. Look at this. This is actually perfect. Oh, great, okay. Yeah, this guy's going to get me 200 influence. This is actually insane. This is such good timing, to be honest. This is extremely good timing, because now that means I might be able to call for an army that is capable of taking this with minimal issue. Oh. Never mind. Yes, no, that is not going to happen. As you could quite clearly tell, they have 1,500 almost in the garrison here, and that is going to be a very, very troublesome siege. So what we're going to have to do is we will have to wait. I'm actually going to go in here and fight this guy. And I am going to be executing him as soon as I get him. There we go. Let's do it. Prepare to die. Prepare to die, sir. There he goes. Alright, so, yeah, we should probably get a little bit more tier 4s. There we go, very nice. And I do have a couple of people that died in that, but that's okay. We don't have to worry about it too much. And let's have a look. No, we're not getting particularly lucky with any of this stuff, but that's okay. I should probably go into the marketplace here and actually see if there is a better set of armor. I don't think there will be. It feels to me like we've gotten our hands on probably some of the best armor in the game, despite the fact that it is dented. Obviously, the dented prefix is definitely, you know, doing a lot of heavy lifting here. But yeah, as you can see, everything else is kind of not so good. Alright, so we're going into a battle here, and this is going to be a bit problematic because they do obviously outnumber us, but we do have a significant amount more high-quality troops. Now, this is kind of a good situation, actually, because despite the fact that, yes, they do outnumber us slightly, well, they have more than 100 extra, we are thinning out the amount of people that could potentially go into the garrison nearby. I was actually attempting to scout out the castle a little bit because, you know, let's face it, we do want to probably try to take it because that's going to be the end of this particular faction. And, well, yeah, this is what happened. They came out. They came out and they wanted to fight. So, yeah, I would really love to get to 275 riding skill, though. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to make it. But it would be nice, because we do have the opportunity to do so. I would have easily made it in the base game, so, you know, RBM is obviously just coming in there, just being a little bit more tough to level up, unfortunately. But hopefully we will be able to do something here. Maybe I can get a couple of points just by riding through some people. We have seen that be a thing, actually, where you do get experience for doing damage with your horse. So I'm kind of thinking, yeah, maybe that's gonna work, you know. Maybe that's actually gonna work. But, you know, if it doesn't, then it doesn't. And that's just how it's gonna have to be. I'm gonna put these guys into a nice little loose formation right there. I'm just kind of trying to leverage our cavalry as much as possible, because that's gonna be I think that's probably gonna be the biggest issue here. Because the cavalry right now are unfortunately getting a little bit caught up by the enemy's cavalry as well. I'd like to try and see if we can maybe go in from behind here, maybe try to do some damage to the enemies. Yep, look at this, like this. That is absolutely perfect. I kind of wish we had gotten a little bit more from our own cavalry there, like they were a little bit closer maybe to the opponent, because that would have really done some devastating damage. Unfortunately, it does seem as though that is a little bit more difficult to do than I'd like, but, you know, that's just how it's going to have to be. I'm going to go through myself, see if we can maybe drag some of them through there, but it's just very slow. That's the problem. Obviously, it is snowing, so, well, I mean, we're technically in snow at the moment, so it is going to take a little bit of time. As you can see, we did get to 271 in riding now. Unfortunately, that is just not enough. We need much more experience to be able to get to 275. And indeed, I believe we're actually fine. And I'm going to run a little bit of interference here. And we're going to try and see if I can maybe, just maybe, get a little bit more experience. I do want to try, if I can, to be as effective as possible when it comes to getting that experience. I mean, obviously, polearms, look at that. Our polearm skill is leveling up a little bit there as well. But ideally, I would love to get that riding skill, because I really want to see how effective it actually is when we have that last perk. Because if we can get that last perk, I think it's going to be incredible. I think it would probably be, I don't even know how much damage it would actually provide us, but it's a percentage increase from what I recall. And so a percentage increase, even if it's like, what, 15, 20%, even if it's like that, we're still going to be getting a... That's a pretty hefty amount. That's pretty good. So I don't think we should be too concerned, I suppose. I don't think we should be too concerned about it, but generally I would like to see it. Maybe we can make it work. I'm doing some damage with our polearm at least. I mean, the damage obviously is very much determined by if you hit them in the face or not, as we've seen and as we know now. It doesn't really matter whether you have a spear or a, you know, one-handed or anything like that. Generally, as long as you hit the face, that's pretty much all you need. You just need to hit... Look at that. Face hit right there. Instant kill, instant kill. And then if you hit them in the body, boom, 31 damage. Sometimes you can hit them in the neck, obviously, as well. And hitting them in the neck does make a big difference, too, because you're still getting the critical damage. The question is, I actually wonder... If you hit them in the neck, is that still a ×2 damage bonus, or is it more like a 1.5? I actually don't know what critical hits actually do in this. I don't know what the modifier is. So, that's actually kind of interesting. That's an interesting question, but whatever. It doesn't matter. We are victorious against a very, actually pretty large contingent of vassals. So I'm pretty happy with this. Look at that. 49 renown for that. 72 influence. I'm going to be, of course, executing these guys. There we go. He's dead as well. And we're going to be executing him too. There we go. And yeah, let's have a look. Okay, so I do have some space, not a huge amount, of course, but I do have a little bit of space here. So let's get a couple more tier 4s. There we go. Yeah, nice. All right, yeah, actually looking pretty good right here. Our army is looking pretty unstoppable at this point. And indeed, I think... Oh, yeah, no, I don't... 28,000. Yeah, 28,000 experience is actually pretty nice. But yeah, I don't think we really need to worry about that too much. Okay, so, yeah, actually, our baby was born as well, as far as I'm aware. Yep, as you can see, there she is. Daughter of Bruce. And we even have a family tree now, which I personally think is absolutely amazing. I love that. I love that we have the family tree now. And the Duchy of Pomerania is no more? I don't know where that is. But it's where all the Pomeranians come from, so it's that's pretty cute. No, I'm just joking. I actually don't know whether they come from there. But, whatever the case, I think... Yes, look at that! We actually got rid of all those guys that were in there. That is absolutely fantastic. I now have 729 influence. So, I think the... Yes, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to call absolutely everyone that I can. And I will be attempting to besiege this. I will not be moving away, because I don't want to trigger the skirmish. Damn it. Oh. Never mind. I triggered it, apparently. I triggered it anyway. That's actually hilarious. I don't even know... What? Are you serious? If you stand close to them, it happens anyway? Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that. Okay, I thought it was just the first time. I thought it was just the first time that you go close to a particular fief, that's what it actually does. But no, it's actually if you just stand next to the fief. Oh, wow. I did not realize that. That's actually pretty insane. All right, well, whatever the case, yeah, we're just going to get these guys, and then we're going to go. Let's do it. These guys are all going to go in there as well, by the way, so yeah, yeah, this is the reason why I actually wanted to go closer. Okay, so we literally... Wait a minute, I just lost all my food. Okay, I'm going to have to get out of... What is going on with the frequency of these skirmishes? Wow. Okay, okay, wait a minute. Let me go over here. I can't buy anything. Okay, hostile action. Give me goods. Give me goods. I'm just gonna auto-resolve this. Give me goods. I want goods. I am absolutely gobsmacked by how insane the skirmishing is. Wow. Okay. We're gonna have to struggle a little bit here, and they're not actually giving me anything. Oh no, maybe they will now. Yeah, okay, they gave me 76 grain. That is not actually enough. That is not actually enough than what I need. Okay, I'm going to have to go all the way over to the town then and actually purchase some additional food. I'm very surprised about this because I actually had, I think it was like, what, 500, 600 in terms of food supplies. And now I only have 50, which is pretty much just like one day's worth. So, yeah, I guess that just goes to show that there are going to be complications in certain aspects, but I do think that that skirmish, shall we say, frequency, like I said, maybe is a little bit too harsh, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, let's just see what we can do here. Just get rid of all of this stuff. Wow. Yeah, some of these trade goods are actually pretty crazy. Really, really nice to see that some of them are actually very, very nice to sell. Okay, so I have 54 days worth. Okay, so let's go over there again. And as you can tell, I've ended up losing massive amounts of troops because we only have 1,300 when we actually had a predicted strength of like 1,800 or something like that. I think someone actually died on the way here, which is pretty terrible. But yeah, anyway, let's see what we can do. They have 1,100. And as you can see, look at that. What is with this? Look at this. It literally just activated, and then it activated again, and it killed 31 of our troops, and we have already lost, as you can see, a significant amount of food supply. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so whatever you do, be very careful coming to this castle. Because this castle, I gotta say, I think is probably one of the most brutal that we have ever seen in regards to its skirmish strength. I actually wonder, can you increase the skirmish strength by getting some kind of upgrade or whatever? I actually don't know. Maybe there is actually something going on with that. Maybe there is some kind of upgrade that this particular fief has that the other ones that we have attacked did not have. And maybe that is the thing that has prevented us from getting a super nice, you know, anything happening here, to be honest. A super nice anything. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens as we go here. We're going to go for physician of people, of course. Going to get engineering here. Military planner is best, in my opinion. And then we've got our spouse, who has leveled up quite dramatically here. We're going to get her some more engineering skill, because she is technically our engineer. Let's get Warbreaker. Let's get Foreman. And let's get, well, neither of these actually make any difference, so we'll just get Siege Engineer, I suppose. And then we'll get Well Built, so that she has a little bit more HP. Veterinary. Then we'll go Polearms while mounted. Polearms that can dismount. And then we'll go with Wrapped Handles. And then she has a attribute point to spend, which is really nice, because then we can finally get that 7th point in Intelligence, and that's definitely going to allow her to get to Steward Skill 275. Which I'm not entirely sure if it's going to really make that much difference, but, you know, kind of nice nevertheless. Okay, so, as you can see, we are potentially going to be having a peace agreement, but I hope our forces vote against it, because we are just about to eliminate them. So, let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to get my trebuchets out, and then we're going to start building the siege towers and so on and so forth in the background. We've got a trade agreement with the Teutonic Order. Okay, that's pretty nice. And there's the peace agreement. After I just sustained huge casualties going in here. You know what really annoys me, actually? Not the fact that they made peace, but the fact that I couldn't actually do anything about it. Like, I would have to end the siege to be able to take part in the vote itself. Oh well. Never mind. Never mind. I mean, basically they are done, as we can very clearly tell here. I mean, look at that. They have one castle, and their strength is very low. We have 16,000 strength at the moment, and there's very few people near to us right here. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure who we're going to be fighting against next, because we have such a massive territory that I don't think we're actually at war against anyone else. So, I think we'll probably do... Shall we do one more? Shall we do one more episode and see what happens? Because I am kind of intrigued about seeing where we're going to go after this. But, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll just see what happens. Because it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to take this at the very least. Anyway, we'll do one more episode, and that will be the final. And, yeah. That will be it then. But we'll see what happens in the next one. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.